Well, hello and welcome to The Homemade Songwriter. I'm Matt, and today we're going to talk about rewriting lyrics, and we're going to rewrite an old song of mine. Well, welcome again, and if you're new here, this channel is all about songwriting and music, so if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe for a new video every week. And if you would, go ahead and like the video because that really does help us out a lot. So rewriting is an interesting and not often discussed part of songwriting. I think as artists, it can be really difficult to confront a failure of a song. We'd much rather just finish it and then never show it to anybody. But rewriting can be a beautifully creative and satisfying thing to do. It takes what you love about a finished song and keeps that, and then at the same time takes those weak areas, those problem areas, and makes them better, hopefully improving the overall song from something you'd be embarrassed to play for somebody to something you'd be proud of, and maybe even something that you'll end up recording and releasing. And all of that is accomplished without any of the heavy lifting in songwriting that comes from the dreaded blank page. With a rewrite, you have a pretty good head start on where the song is going to go because generally the overall function, the overall layout, melody, those kind of things are already in place. So today I want to look at an old song of mine called Wedding Rings. I wrote this song in April of 2017, which was about 6 months after my wife and I got married. I noticed for the first time that my wedding ring had all these little dings and scratches on it, and it really bummed me out because my ring is pretty much the only piece of expensive jewelry that I wear, and I really pride myself on being able to take care of my things. But then I realized I don't really mind the scuffs. In fact, I actually really liked them because each one of those marks represented some moment in the first 6 months of our marriage. Maybe I got one of them when I leaned on the counter of our first home, or when I opened the door to our favorite restaurant on a date night. Or maybe I got one of them when I wrote her a song and my ring rubbed up against the fretboard of my guitar. It's like each mark had its own story, and I began wondering what it's going to be like after 10 years of marriage or 50 years of marriage. How many stories would I be carrying with me on my left hand? So that was the inspiration for the song, and I really liked it when I first wrote it, but the more I played it, the more certain parts just started to bug me until I eventually stopped playing it altogether. Fast forward about 4 years and I found myself listening to old voice memos and thinking about this song again. I always really loved the concept, I liked the melody, I liked the guitar part, but I realized there was just some simple problem lyrics that if I could punch up, this song could become a really strong member of my songbook. So the next step was to identify those problem lyrics and get to work. So the verses went something like this.
Who would have thought something so small carry so much weight? Two little pins that we wear on our hands, there's so much they can say.
Honestly, I like the verses. I like the melody. I think it sets up the idea well. The problems for me really begin in the pre-chorus.
A picture holds 1,000 words, but a ring holds 1,000 years right here.
So again, what I like here is the melody. I think the melody is strong. I think it's a short pre-chorus that sets up the idea that we're going somewhere musically, but the lyrics are just not doing it for me. I was trying to do something with the picture's worth 1,000 words, but I just didn't quite get it. So after some work, here are the revised lyrics I came up with for the pre-chorus.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, but a ring tells of so much more.
So overall pretty similar, but I think this conveys the idea a little better. I think it fleshes out that saying a little more, and it's overall just a better lyric. The major changes in this song are going to come in the chorus, which I pretty much have to redo the whole thing.
Every day we get stronger, with every hill that we conquer, bear the scars on our hand. Well, these scratches tell our story, the hard times and the glories, and every day between. It's all there for you to see on these wedding rings.
So for me, the only saving grace in this chorus is the line, "These scratches tell our story," but pretty much the rest of it I'm going to scrap. I think "These scratches tell our story" is a really cool way of stating the main idea, and I just like to build off that a little more. So it took a little while and went through several iterations, but the brand new punched up chorus goes like this.
Well, this gold may lose its luster from one day to another, which marks another day. Well, these scratches tell a story, each page another morning, with a lifetime left to say. It's all there for you to see on these wedding rings.
I like these lyrics much better. I think overall, I think they're much more cohesive to the main idea of the song. I think the old chorus, while it made sense in my head, maybe didn't really go beyond that. I think these new lyrics translate to the listener much better, and that's really important in songwriting. Now, verse 2 is actually really good in my opinion. Actually, the line, "My finger is crowned with the gold of our vows," is one of my favorite lyrics I've ever written. So I think just a little bit of polishing. There's some lines where I use more me, I language. I like to use more we, us type language. So just that kind of slight polishing I think is going to take this verse up to where it needs to be, but it's mostly good to go. So the last thing I want to do with this song is to write a bridge. Right now it feels pretty short and like it's missing something to me. So the question becomes, does it need a musical bridge like a solo or a lyrical bridge? On this particular song, I ultimately decided that a lyrical bridge was just unnecessary. I think the main idea was already stated clearly, and it didn't need to be restated, and there wasn't like a new idea that would reinforce the main idea that I thought needed to be said. So that's why we decided to go with a musical bridge. A musical bridge gives space for reflection, and in the case of this song, it's reflection over what all those little moments and little scratches on a wedding ring represent. So it gives the listener some space in the music to fill in the blanks with their own story, which I think is a beautiful part of songwriting. Here are the final lyrics side by side. So I think this was a success. I took an old song that I loved that needed some work, and I polished it up, brought new life to it, and made it better. But I'd love to hear what you think. Did I in fact make it better, or did I make it worse? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want feedback on your songs, Austin and I are currently setting up our website where you can do just that. Pretty soon you'll be able to send us your songs and we'll email you back our thoughts, criticisms, praises, etc., whatever you need. So keep an eye out for that. The best way to do that is to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss our new videos and don't miss the video of us announcing that the website is up and running, which should be pretty soon. So with that, I'm going to play you the brand new, better than ever, punched up lyric version of Wedding Rings. So keep writing and rewriting, and we'll see you in the next one.
Who would have thought something so small could carry so much weight? Two little bits that we wear on our hands have so much they can say. Picture's worth 1,000 words, but a ring tells of so much more. This gold may lose its luster from one day to another, which marks another day. These scratches tell a story, each page another morning, with a lifetime left to say. For you to see on these wedding rings. Life's every scene I carry with me everywhere I go. My finger is crowned with the gold of our vows we made so long ago. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but a ring tells of so much more. This gold may lose its luster from one day to another, which marks another day. These scratches tell a story, each page another morning, with a lifetime left to say. So there for you to see on these wedding rings. story.